Galactica Transticker here with another tutorial video. In this video, I'm going to show you a little bit about mixing. So expect a longer video for this one. So, what do I do when I'm mixing? So, the first thing you need to do is record the song properly. That is the key. It's recording it with proper mics and recording it so that it's not too loud, and that is important, that it's not too loud. So when you're recording, each track should be at least minus 12 dB or more. When it starts getting louder and heading towards that 0 dB mark, then you need to start thinking, actually this is too loud. I'm saying that because, say for example, say if you've recorded a song and you've recorded it and each track is too hot, so it's too loud, okay? When you come to mix and master it, you won't have enough headroom to do that, because after you start going above 0 dB, the sound will start distorting. So, and that's what you don't want in your mix. You don't want a distorted sound. You want it to sound clear. So, it needs to be recorded quite quiet. So, I know certain equipment can actually make some tracks louder. So for example, say if you record a bass using a DI box, that's obviously going to be a stronger signal than if you recorded the bass using a mic. So, but it's about gain staging, it's about controlling that sound, what comes in, and recording it just right. So the recording part is very important. If you can record it just right, that means you'll need less editing later on, and it'll create less work. So this song, originally it was recorded a little bit too loud, in my opinion. So I didn't actually record this, it was a friend of mine, and they sent it to me to try and fix it. So I have done a little bit to it. So what I do, so say if, for example, this is a perfect song, you've recorded it perfectly, and you want to mix it. So the first thing I do, I apply the plugins to it firstly, before I even start adjusting the levels. So for example, so I've got my backing melody here. See, I've already put my compressor on, I've put my channel EQ on, and I don't want a limiter on that, so I'll remove that. And then my drums. Ideally, I would use New York style compression for my drums, but in this case, my friend has told me he doesn't want that style of compression on his drums, so I've just added a compressor onto the channel strip itself as an insert effect and not a send effect. So And then we got our bass. But as you can see, I've already EQ'd it. I've put a compressor on it, and so forth. So then once I've added the plugins to it, I've added my compressor, I've added my EQ and my reverb and my other effects. So for example, it's like the drums, say if, I don't know, say if he wanted a bit of distortion on the drums to make them a bit dirty, you'd add that on. But that type of plugin I'd actually add it on as a send effect. So you can actually add, you keep the original signal, but you add a little bit of dirtiness to the drums, with a bit crusher or something. So I've added the plugins to it. Now, the next thing I do, I go to the mixer, and then I highlight all the channels. So and then if you turn them all down, they all go down at the same time. Okay, so from here you can either choose to adjust them from the mixer, or you can adjust them from here, which I prefer to do it this way. So, and then I play it, and then I adjust the levels. So as you can see, so I'm going to add the backing melody. Too much. I always do the drums last. I'm doing that so that I'm muted to make sure that every instrument can be heard within the mix. And if I mute it and there's no difference, that means it's not cutting through the mix. I'm also looking at the stereo out as well. We don't want it to start getting towards that 0 mark too much, because remember we gotta master this as well. So that is one way of doing it. Obviously, I'd spend more time doing it, adjusting it, fine adjusting it. This is just for demonstration, just to show you guys. What I tend to do is, when I'm turning each track up, if instead of looking at the computer, if you look away and actually listen, I find it helps you concentrate on the sound and not on the screen of what's happening. So that's as far as I'd like to go with that. With that, obviously, I'll adjust the levels a little bit so it's fine. Adjust some, and then once I'm happy with that, then I'll move on to the mastering stage. So the mastering stage I'll feature in another video because it's going to make this video way too long. So I hope that has helped. But always remember, you always need to give yourself headroom. So if I get the mixer up, as you can see, all my levels are in the green. But you don't want them going into the amber or the red, especially the red, because once you go over that, the sound is going to start distorting. And also, when you come to master it, you're not going to be able to have enough headroom to master it. So that it's all about the levels. It's all about keeping it at a good level so that it gives you an headroom to master it in the final stage. So subscribe and like the channel, because it helps the channel a tremendous lot. It helps us grow, and it helps me produce more of these types of videos. So see you next time. Bye bye.